Okay, so you are here on your handstand journey, meaning you can kick up into a pike or maybe even 2 different pikes. But problem 1, they don't look as good as you wish. 2, you keep falling out of your transitions. What you need is to start working on refining your pikes, and this is what we're going to do in this video. To do that, we're going to work on compressing each pike. Compression, remember, refers to your ability to bring the legs lower while keeping the shoulders open. And I have cooked for you a circuit just for that. Now, whether you are at that stage or not yet, if you want my help to design a program tailored to your needs, reach out to me below using the link in the description. How low you can go, how much you can compress is going to be dictated by your current strength level, technique in terms of control, and hamstrings flexibility. But even if we look at what we can do today and we stop thinking that more mobility is going to cut it, I want you, as usual, to be able to maximize what is within your capabilities today. Before you start conquering the 7, you're going to need to be able to show proficiency in going into the deepest tuck, straight pike, straddle that you can achieve to date. And for this, I introduce you to the pike depth or depth circuit. When we kick up against the wall and practice our pikes, remember we want to have our hands pretty close to the wall, and that's because our butt is not going to be able to reach out that far. We want to be able to land softly, which is a proof that your legs are properly positioned in space to match how far out the pelvis goes. If I land a bit too abruptly, I know, if my momentum wasn't too scattered, that my legs were too high. For today's drill, we want to be super precise with how close we place our hands, because being too far happens very quickly in pikes. And I want to start as close as I can to the wall. This is going to be dependent on the natural arch you have in your lower back. The more arched, the further you're going to have to be. This is going to depend on the size of your glutes as well, and on whether or not you have fully open shoulders. If your head bangs on the wall, well, maybe your shoulders are not fully open yet, or maybe you're too far from the get-go. So you have to play with that, but try to find the distance that is the closest to the wall. And we're going to place our hands in front of a visual marker. That can be a pen or whatever you can set your hands on. We're going to kick up and try to land softly. From here, feet on the wall, we start in a straight shape. We're going to push on the fingers to balance a couple of seconds and then bring our butt to the wall. Reset and do it again. Because we're so close to the wall, we're essentially performing the smallest amount of piking possible. Next, we go half an inch, 1 centimeter farther from the wall. We place our fingers exactly the same, and now the wall will be farther from our butt, meaning we're going to have to go deeper in our pikes. I start straight, and I pike slowly, and reset. Your butt barely kisses the wall. It never stays on the wall as you lower your legs. Little by little, like so, you're gonna make your way farther and farther from the wall, 1 centimeter at a time. And soon enough, again, depending on your flexibility and how much your shoulders can take, and the length of your limbs as well, you're gonna get to your maximal today. You know you reach it, that maximum, because you're gonna feel your shoulders and or your hamstrings screaming to maintain integrity. That maximum is gonna also be different for the different pike positions you have. So that distance that you have figured out between the wall and your hands would be different if you were tucking or straddling or keeping your legs together. If you're working on all those pikes together, well, you need to know the distances for each pike position. You know you are too far from the wall, that you are past your maximum, when one of the following two things happen. One, you collapse against the wall. You lower your legs, but it's so hard on the shoulders that they end up plunging forwards. Or two, you cannot land on the wall softly, no matter what you do with your legs. You always crash. This is a sign that you're too far.